2010, Marlene and I met at a diaspora conference in Connecticut, and we got a chance to really sit down and share. And I said, I know this is a bit sensitive, but I hear, the PNP has started a rumor that you're the Prime Minister's girlfriend.
Yes, JPU family, want to come hear the story by Senator Audrey Marks. I understand it's her first time on the political platform, but listen to her story, guys, and I'll come back.
Back in 2009, 2010, Marlene and I met at a diaspora conference in Connecticut, and we got a chance to really sit down and share. And I said, I know this is a bit sensitive, but I hear, the PNP has started a rumor that you're the Prime Minister's girlfriend. And she looked at me and she said, no, I'm hearing that it's you. So, what was not known at the time is that the JLP had a tradition of finding beautiful, talented women from all over Jamaica. The JLP was formed in 1943 and by 1944 contested an election, and from right here in your constituency, Minister Homer Davis, the first female member of parliament, at the time Iris Collins Williams, and that tradition has continued, through Madam Rose Leon, Mavis Gilmore, Edith Bennett, the great Babs the Grange of today, and joined by 13 others as members of parliament. The most record of any party, the amount of women serving now in the JLP under Andrew Michael Holness. And there are 5 of us in the Senate, and there are 6 in the cabinet, the most of any cabinet under any administration. The first female chief of defense, the first cabinet secretary, female cabinet secretary, and of course myself as the first female ambassador to the United States, all under the JLP government. But to finish the story, back in 2016, I was called to go back to Washington, and Marlene was appointed Attorney General. So I called her and said, well, let's listen out for the rumors now, because we have a young, handsome Prime Minister. And I said to her, do not deny if they say it again. But do you know what happened? No more rumors. I was never asked if I was the Prime Minister's girlfriend. I think we worked hard, we proved ourselves, reminded everybody of the tradition of the Jamaica Labour Party, and it's accepted that women can deliver when they're appointed to the job. So I want to share with you why I'm choosing to support the Jamaica Labour Party. Some of you might know my background. I started a business, I had an idea. I was away and I had an idea to do a business while I was in the United States. I said, this business will be good for Jamaica, to create an online payment system so that persons who are 20, 30 miles away from a commercial office can go to their nearest supermarket or their post office and pay a bill. So I came back and struggled for years to create what is now known as Paymaster. Shortly after I started to operate, we went through a period that was called FinSac, because there was no stability in the economy. You borrow at one rate, and it will compound and drive you out of business in a few years. It went from 8% all the way to 120%. Many people did not survive and they committed suicide. And I want to emphasize this point because we are taking the gains that we have made for granted, and we should never forget how far we have come. So I managed to survive that period and I continued in business. But when I came back here in 2013, I was labeled I was labeled a laborite, and it was told that the decision was made that I should not survive in business. And so, of the over 150 contracts that the company had, the one contract that was with the government at the time was cancelled. That contract represented a significant part of the business. So the decision was made that I'm going to have to lay off a lot of the staff. I had a meeting to lay off this, to call the staff together to say we have to do some layoffs. And at that meeting, when I look in the front row as I'm looking at you now, I had made a deliberate policy to employ many young single mothers. And they were all there looking at me. Some of them had started to cry because they knew what was coming. But in that moment, I remembered that I'm a woman from rural Jamaica, 3 generations of farmers. We had gone through droughts, we had gone through hurricanes, we had gone through floods, and we are resilient people. We always survive. And in that moment, I decided that I would not buckle, we would not fail, we'll keep all our staff, and we would start over and make the business work. And that's what we did. But a very good friend who was a supporter of the PNP said to me, this would never have happened under the JLP government, because the JLP support business women and business.
Yes, guys, so how do you think she did? Lord of mercy. The JLP has a habit of finding beautiful women and empowering them, is what she said. And she said the PNP has a habit of putting people in bed and putting rumors out there upon them. I mean, we see this develop even with this Prime Minister, with Rhoda Crawford, where the PNP and the people with them and them in a bed with the propaganda and the lies come say Rhoda Crawford and the Prime Minister asleep, and Rhoda took it to heart and got frustrated and whatever. But you see them style of politics they know. Me not do personal attack politics, and it takes a level of maturity to do politics without the innuendos and them kind of something. Them style of politics there, me not like it. You understand? And that is what this PNP today that we see, that is what they're into. Look what we see coming out of the PNP over the last few years. Homicides, all kind of something, And while that is not something to go tit for tat and ray, it's like, we have a country to develop. Nobody not a time for the rumors and the this and the that. And that's not substance. And that tend to turn people off anyway. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments, guys. This is Jamaica Politics Uncovered. Keep it locked here. Make sure you're subscribed and you're inviting your friends to join us.